They came screaming out of the smoke and fire, twisted shapes wrapped in armor and madness. I felt them before I saw them. Souls swollen with borrowed power, minds hollowed out to make room for their gods. They charged without fear, convinced that belief alone made them strong. Their weapons were loud, crude, wasteful. Bolts of energy tore through the air toward me. I did not rush. I did not take cover. I lifted my hand, and the shots died before they reached my armor, crushed into nothing by simple will. I could feel the shock ripple through the humans watching. This was not how war worked in their galaxy. I stepped forward. A demon leapt at me, claws stretched wide, its presence pressing against the warp like a wound that refused to close. I caught it mid-air. His body fought me. His god screamed through it. I tightened my grip, not with anger, not with effort. The creature folded in on itself, bone and warp stuff collapsing until nothing remained but silence. The others hesitated. That was new for them. I moved through the battlefield with measured steps. Blades met my saber and shattered. Armor split open as if it had always been weak. I cut through warriors who believed themselves chosen, blessed, eternal. Their faith tasted desperate. Their gods were not mighty. They were starving. I felt the humans behind me change. Their fear shifted. At first, they feared I was another monster. Then they realized I was something else. Something controlled. Something that did not howl or beg or pray. I was not fighting for them. This was correction. Chaos wasted energy. It destroyed without purpose. It screamed instead of ruling. I removed it the way one removes a flaw cleanly, completely. I sensed eyes on me beyond the battlefield. Commanders calculating. Priests whispering litanies. Machines scanning, failing, rescanning. Their systems searched for limits and found none they could measure. The warp brushed against me and recoiled, as if unsure how to touch something that did not belong to it. The final enemy fell without ceremony. No retreat, no last words, only an abrupt end. Silence followed. Not relief, not triumph. Silence heavy enough to press on the mind. The humans stood frozen, weapons lowered, unsure whether to kneel, flee, or fire. None of those instincts felt correct anymore. I stood alone among the dead, untouched by smoke or blood. They had seen war their entire lives. They had never seen it end like this. That silence frightened them more than the battle ever could. They came fast, howling praises to their dark gods as they charged. Armor twisted by corruption scraped against itself as they ran. I felt their minds before they reached me, burning with borrowed strength, swollen by promises that were already breaking. They believed they were chosen. They believed they could not fall. Their weapons spoke first. Explosive fire tore the air apart, loud and uncontrolled. I raised my hand and stopped it. The shots collapsed inward, crushed by pressure they could not resist. The sound ended mid-roar. I stepped forward through the fading smoke. I did not hurry. A blade struck my armor and shattered like brittle stone. Another warrior followed, screaming the name of his god. I cut him down in one motion. No pause, no struggle. His faith did nothing for him. Around me, movement slowed as doubt spread. Chaos feeds on momentum. When that momentum breaks, it dies quickly. A larger creature pushed through its own allies, towering and warped, its body half in reality, half in the warp. It reached for me with claws that bent the air. I seized it and forced it down. I felt its god press against my mind, loud and desperate, demanding devotion. I answered with silence and closed my grip. The creature came apart piece by piece, until even its scream vanished. I continued forward. Each step reduced resistance. Warriors who had never retreated before began to fall back. Their gods did not answer them now. Those gods were watching, hungry, afraid to lose what little power they had stolen. Behind me, the humans watched. At first, their fear was simple. They thought I was another nightmare. Then they saw the difference. I did not rage. I did not shout prayers. I did not lose control. The shape of their fear changed into something deeper, something careful. I felt eyes on me beyond the battlefield. Tactical minds calculating outcomes. Priests whispering protection rites. Machines scanning my movements, searching for patterns that were not there. Their warp touched me and recoiled. It did not know how to bend me, could only flow around me. I was not defending these humans. I was correcting imbalance. Chaos wasted lives, wasted strength, wasted time. I removed it because it served no purpose. The last enemy fell without ceremony. No final stand, no retreat, just an empty space where resistance had been. The noise of war ended all at once. Silence spread outward, heavy and unnatural. No cheers followed it. No prayers rose. Only stillness and the weight of understanding. They had seen battles before. They had never seen one end like this. They surrounded me with practiced precision. Black armor, sacred symbols, weapons held ready, but not steady. I felt their fear long before I felt their authority. They hid it behind ritual words and rehearsed commands. But fear leaks through discipline every time. They demanded answers. They asked my name, my origin, how I came here. Each question was wrapped in command, but none carried real control. Their power came from permission, not strength. From rules written by others long dead. I answered none of it. Then they asked the only question that mattered. Who do you serve? I told them the truth. I serve order. The word hit them harder than any weapon. I felt it ripple through their minds. They expected a god, a master, a throne. Order had none of those. Could not be prayed to, could not forgive. That terrified them. They spoke then of their emperor, not as a ruler but as a sacred law, a truth beyond question. As they spoke his name, I reached into the warp and found him without effort. His presence filled the void, vast, ancient, powerful, and broken. He was not ruling. He was trapped. A mind stretched thin across time, held together by sacrifice and belief, fed by endless death, sustained, not alive. I had felt this before. A throne built from fear, power that could not move forward because it could not admit weakness. I did not say it aloud, but they felt the comparison. It unsettled them. They told me change was heresy, that order meant preserving what already existed. I saw the truth beneath it. This Imperium was frozen, afraid of progress, afraid of choice. They called stagnation loyalty and decay tradition. They threatened judgment. I did not answer with threats. Their psychers reached for my mind. They shattered on contact. Their machines locked, failed, refused to respond. Weapons hesitated in their hands, as if even the metal sensed the imbalance. One by one, their confidence broke. Quietly, completely, that was when understanding replaced fear. I was not chaos. The warp did not command me. I was not loyal. No throne owned me. I was not theirs. Nothing they named could bind me. Before another word could be spoken, the warp shifted. A pressure rose beyond the horizon. Vast, old, hungry. Even they felt it. Even their prayers faltered. I turned toward it without hesitation. Whatever was coming did not care about faith. Neither did I. It came from the warp like a wound opening in reality. The pressure hit first, bending the air, crushing thought, demanding submission. Even before it showed its form, I felt its age. This thing had devoured worlds. It had been worshipped, feared, fed for centuries. It expected me to kneel or break. I did neither. The shape shifted as it emerged, vast, layered, unstable. Power poured out of it in waves, fueled by belief and madness. It spoke without words, pushing its will into my mind, promising power, demanding obedience. I recognized the tactic: rage, temptation, control through excess. I answered with silence. I did not rush it. I did not strike in anger. I anchored myself in will alone. The warp bent around us, screaming as our presence distorted it. The creature attacked with overwhelming force, but force without focus is waste. Every blow it struck exposed another weakness. Every surge of power made it less stable. I pressed forward step by step, tightening my control. I cut away pieces of it, not wildly, not for display, but precisely. Its power bled out into nothing. The The screams grew frantic. Gods born of chaos do not understand discipline. They only understand hunger. When it finally broke, it was not an explosion. It was a collapse. A vast presence reduced to silence, erased not by hatred, but by refusal. Afterward, everything changed. The Imperium watched me differently now. Some saw a weapon. Some saw a threat greater than anything they had recorded. Plans formed around me, so did fear. They debated whether I should be destroyed or claimed. Both ideas were meaningless. I made my choice clear. I will not serve their emperor. I will not bow to their gods. But I will not allow chaos to rule this galaxy. This war cannot be won with faith alone. Faith rots into fear. Endless sacrifice weakens instead of strengthens. Blind obedience creates stagnation. I have seen it before. I know how empires die while insisting they are eternal. This galaxy does not need another god. It needs control without madness, strength without worship, order that can move forward. As I turned away, I felt it. Awareness spreading, ancient minds shifting their attention. Primarchs, chaos lords, powers that had slept too long noticing the change in the balance. Let them watch. This galaxy is dying from stagnation. I did not come to save it. I came to reshape it.